Hello, everyone. I'm Randy Arrington, and welcome to the 67th episode of Page Valley Living. We're here today at the new terminal of the Luray Caverns Airport, where today they're celebrating the grand opening and open house of this new $4.5 million facility. Most of the funds were paid by state and federal authorities, with the town of Luray and the county picking up a very small percentage. And that has been the case over the last half century that this airport has been in operation. We're going to learn a little bit about the history as well as the operations and several speeches given today at today's event. Again, hang in there and make sure you stay tuned for episode 67 of Page Valley Living. We'll be back here at the Luray Airport right after a word from our sponsor. At Luray Caverns, the Smithsonian Institution said, quote, "It is safe to say there is probably no other cave in the world more completely and profusely decorated than that of Luray. Come see Mother Nature showing off, only at Luray Caverns. Visit them online at luraycaverns.com to plan your trip today."
This airport was conceived by Mr. Ted Graves back in the 1960s. And Ted was a World War II pilot. He flew the P-47, and he always thought the community should have an airport, not so much for his business, but just for the community. He knew how important general aviation was, and I can remember learning to fly back in the 60s. And general aviation was very strong. There were a lot of young fellows that had gotten out of the service after the war. They learned to fly with the GI Bill, and there were a lot of airplanes, and airports were very popular. Luray was a great destination, not only for the cave, but the park and that sort of thing. So Ted donated the original 49 acres here on this beautiful. He had owned this farm here, and he donated 49 acres to the town and county, and then the town and county used that land as a 50-50 match to build this airport. And the other 50% was paid by the Department of Aviation. So that was, the airport opened about 1971, and not only did Ted donate the land, but after the airport opened, then the Luray Caverns Corporation continued to operate this airport for the next 45 years. And they not only operated it, but they paid all the expenses. And that for 45 years, probably had they not done that, this airport never would have survived. And for that, we're forever grateful. I saw John and Rod and several of Ted's grandchildren here today, and I just want to make it clear that we are forever grateful for your donation to our community. Coming in. We during that time, beginning in the 1980s, the airport commission, while the Caverns was running the airport commission began making improvements to this facility. And to date, we have spent over $26 million improving this facility, including this beautiful building. And the majority of the funding for those improvements was paid by our friends at the FAA and the Department of Aviation. Most of those grants were 98% grant dollars. And the matching 1% came from the town and county. And we're also very grateful for the town and county. We have some of our our good county supervisors here, and also some of our council members. And once again, during that time, they never said no. They always agreed to make those improvements, and we're grateful to them also. In 2008, we constructed the first T hangars, and then in 2023, we added an additional 18 T hangar units. We've always had a long waiting list for T hangars. Those T hangars are the heartbeat of an airport. People like to keep their nice little toys inside where it's dry, out in the weather. And so we're pleased. Right now we have 42 rental units, probably room for 50 aircraft. Some of the units are larger, will hold numerous aircraft. But all the units are rented. We have about 44 based aircraft now, valued at over $10 million that contribute to the tax base in the county. And we have also, over the last couple of years, attracted 2 very nice businesses to the airport. And I know some of those guys are here today. Dale and Steve Krause with Aircraft Maintenance Solutions. And Matt Queen has Elevate Avionics. And those guys have, I think we talked the other day, they have a total of 10 full-time employees working there now. So it's interesting. The state did an economic impact study in 2016, I believe, and it showed our impact on the community, our economic impact, and they have just commissioned a new study, and I would imagine that our impact is going to be double, maybe triple what it was in 2016. So we're looking forward to that report. In June of 19, well, I'm going to back up. When I see my engineer, Mr. John Morty, and some of his crew with Delta Airport Consultants. In 1984, we did a master plan for the airport, and this particular site right here was earmarked for a terminal building. And that, I thought in 1984, I thought, oh boy, we're real close to getting terminal building. And so here we are, finally, how many years is that? 41 years later, we finally got that accomplished. But Delta Airport Consultants has been with us from the beginning, and they helped us through this entire process of putting this project together. And the project was dependent upon financing, and we started in June of 19 talking with USDA. We were able to put a nice financing package together to cover the cost of hangars and the little bit of the cost of this building that we had to pay. And we also got some funding from FAA on this project, and this is the result of that, this beautiful building. Our friends at DOAV, the Department of Aviation, paid about 89% of the cost of this building. And we're forever grateful to them. They've been such supportive of the years, the FAA and the state. I was just talking to the director a minute ago. We mentioned that other surrounding states do not get to support. I have friends in Pennsylvania and North Carolina. Those guys see this building, people come in here and they say, well, how did you get the building? And they can't believe the support that the state, the Virginia Department of Aviation gives to local airports. So for that, we are really grateful.
Hey Raj, how you doing? Good. Right.
appointed him to be the director of UAV in 2022. And as a director, he oversees a team of 35 professionals who deal with us at these airports, and they've got their hands full, I can tell you that. There are 65 public use airports across the Commonwealth of Virginia, and they support the $25 billion air aviation industry in the state. It's quite a program, and if you delve into the economics, it's amazing what these things do. So, Greg, I'll ask you to please say a few words. Good to have you with us.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you all for the invitation to come down and join you for this great event and celebrate the opening of this new terminal. It's always fantastic when I have an excuse to come back home to the Valley. And you know, I have a little bit of history with this airport. When I was learning to fly in high school and got my private license, this is one of the favorite places that I used to pop down to. Back then, the Caverns ran the airport, and I remember they used to loan me a car, and I'd go over to the Caverns right in town. I think it was a little station wagon or something, but anyway. I used to love to fly down here, and I can tell you, driving in today, it's been a little while since I've been here. Wow. You've all done a fantastic job with this airport, and it's a real honor and a real privilege for me to be here today. As Ed said, you know, these airports and these terminals are really the front door to a community. It's the first thing someone's going to see if they're visiting this area. You know, whether it's tourism or a prospective business or industry or someone looking to move here, someone to invest in the community. This is the first thing they see. You all have created a fantastic front door for this community, and I applaud you for that. And it's not just the building; it's the people. It's the friendly way that you all welcome everyone as they come in. Before I get into a couple quick remarks, I want to acknowledge Robert Bowen. Robert, stand please. Robert is the Virginia Aviation Board member, my board member that represents this region. Robert is a lifetime aviation nerd like myself. Most recently retired as Airport Manager Director of the Norfolk International Airport, but Robert is quite active on the board, very supportive of our 65 public use airports, and we appreciate him being here with us today with his family. I know Robert's like me, he enjoys any opportunity he can get to come back up here and visit, spend some time in the Valley. So today's dedication and ceremony is a culmination of many years, really at least 2 decades of planning, as Ed mentioned, and I apologize in advance if I restate anything. But not just planning, but dedication and commitment from those that have served on the Airport Commission and local community that have really, you know, just put so much into moving this airport forward. In fact, Luray and Page County Airport Authority initiated this process almost 20 years ago to build this facility. I remember when those conversations were being had, and I was at an airport just up the road from here. 20 years ago was when I remember Ed started to talk about this, and I think he met with officials from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, who's been a good partner, to make the case for a new and better terminal facility. It's my understanding, and I can believe it, that the original terminal was originally a chicken coop, and it served as a terminal building from 1969 until this facility. Kind of hard to believe, but the airport's terminal began its life as a chicken coop, and the irony of that is not lost on me, that a facility for flightless birds being the hub of activity for pilots and passengers in this airport is quite ironic. In 2008, we at the Virginia Department of Aviation partnered with the airport to conduct a feasibility study. It's always a first step in determining what that vision could be, what it might look like. 13 years later, we came back together and we helped support the design of the building, a little under $200,000, and the site preparation design, parking lot, and apron out here. Later that same year in 2023, A third partner entered the picture, our friends at the Federal Aviation Administration, and they contributed some money for the site prep here, I think about $900,000. And then last year, or 2 years ago, the Department of Aviation contributed a grant for $3.2 million of the total, nearly $4.5 million in total cost for this important improvement project, and we couldn't be happier with the result. The talk around the office among our staff that have been here as the progress is being made on this terminal was, this is going to be one of the best ones in the state. It's really smart, it's really nice, it's really well thought out, and we're really happy for you all, but we're also really proud of this facility. It's also been constructed with a lot of smart materials, so we're all hopeful that this facility will last a very long time, at least through the next several generations. So I just want to wrap up by saying I'm really excited to be here with you today to help dedicate this newest general aviation terminal building in the Commonwealth. It's been a real honor and privilege for the Department of Aviation and our staff to partner in the design, the construction, and the furnishing of this beautiful terminal. And on behalf of our team at the Department of Aviation, the Virginia Aviation Board, and the Youngkin administration, I offer my best wishes as you enjoy this new terminal for many years to come. And Ed, I just want to thank you all again for all your dedication. These facilities, the value of them cannot be stated strongly enough. And the volunteers like you that step forward and make this happen is really what makes good things in aviation happen in Virginia. So thank you all for letting me join you today. It's been a real honor to be here. I look forward to catching up with a few of you that I recognize around here. Thanks.
At Luray Caverns, you can hear music of symphonic quality from ancient stone formations on the great stalacpipe organ, the largest musical instrument in the world. Only at Luray Caverns. Visit them online at luraycaverns.com to plan your trip today. We're here at the Luray Caverns Airport here celebrating the new terminal today on April 26th, and we got Jimmy Culpepper here. Jimmy, tell us what you do here at the airport.
They tell me I'm the manager here at Luray Caverns Airport, but I don't know if I believe them yet or not.
How long have you been working here?
I've been manager for a little over 2 years now, and I've probably worked here 6 years.
Okay, now you worked here for 6 years. The last few years, there's been a lot of changes with new hangars and fuel stations and things being added on. Would you say that more has been done in, say, the last decade than ever before?
I moved here about 35 years ago, and when I moved, they were moving the road back that way. If you remember, it used to come in right behind the fence over there. All right, that was moved, and they've talked about a terminal building since that day.
Wow.
And in the last 10 years, I've seen the road moved out from the runway over there, the whole airport fenced in, and new hangars, and now finally this terminal building, and we are excited.
And 47 aircraft now housed here at the airport. Is that the most it's ever had?
Yes, sir, that it is.
Now, today with this new terminal building, this is awfully nice. I mean, it's got a conference room, an open area, I guess you'd say like a welcome desk, a waiting room, a kitchen, bathrooms. This is a pretty nice facility here. How does it feel to finally get this thing, after decades of talking about it, it's finally happening?
Well, I'll be honest with you. A Black Hawk helicopter brought a crew in to go up on the mountain years ago, and I tried my best to get him to take off and fly over the old terminal building because I knew it would collapse it. And if you'd like a souvenir, I'll be happy to go down there and break your board off. It'll be a pretty easy job.
We'll say goodbye to the chicken coop.
Goodbye to the chicken coop.
Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for talking with us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
All right. We're here now with Vice Mayor Ron Vickers, who is also on the board of the Luray Page County Airport Authority, which took over control of the airport back in, 2015, I believe, is correct?
It's not with the commission. It's not a board.
Well, it was a commission, it's an authority now.
That's correct.
That's right, that's
I'm
right.
the newest member, I think. of the
Oh,
commission.
okay. And just got reappointed or got
Yes,
put
I
on
did.
there. That's right. It's a pretty big day for the town. And I tell you, this is a heck of an asset. I was talking with Stephanie Lillard about this. For such little amount that the town has to put in, we get some huge benefits from this company.
There is no doubt. People that think this airport is just for the rich folks, they are so misinformed, because the economic value, I don't think Powell said today, but it's millions of dollars in economics coming to this area because of the taxes all the guys pay to keep the planes here, the fuel they sell, the rental of the hangars. So
Jobs?
yeah, the 10 jobs.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, when we gonna ever get a carrier like one flight a day?
Right.
It may not be my lifetime.
Right.
But I can see it happening now that we have a terminal.
Well, sure, you got to start somewhere.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, like I said, the town is great to have it. And what do you think is one of the biggest benefits that the town sees from the airport?
It not only does it make it more of a tourist town complete because we have that capability.
Right.
It gives us a little bit more of a chance to think to the future. This airport could have disappeared when Mr. Graves was funded all by himself.
Right.
And from what I understand, it's really hard to get one started. It probably wouldn't have happened. And I will do everything I can to keep this place operating for as long as I'm here. It's a benefit, and it's a good benefit, even if you don't use it yourself.
Well, I am glad you are on the board to help keep it going. Thank you very much, Ron Vickers, for talking
You're
with us.
welcome.
And welcome back, everybody. We're here at the Luray Caverns Airport, the new terminal opening today here on Saturday, April the 26th. We're here with Mayor Stephanie Lillard. And Stephanie, I'll tell you, this is a big step forward for the town today, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. It is very impressive. I was just saying a little bit ago about it's kind of a hidden gem. There are so many individuals in our community that I think do not appreciate the assets of the economic engine that it is. Today has shown me myself, even there were things that I didn't know about the facility and the operation and the history, and a lot to be proud of.
Did you know that it used to be a chicken coop?
I did not, and it was a little lost for me, if I'm being honest, when he said that. I thought, what? Very interesting,
And it's also amazing that we get this much out of it, this big of an asset and service, when it really costs the town just a fraction of the overall cost.
Yes, absolutely. For the investment that both the town and the county has made compared to the asset, the value that it brings today, but I think just thinking forward to the future and the opportunity, the return on investment is quite impressive.
Because a lot of times, I know they were talking about only 2% would be paid with local money, and half of that is paid by the county, and then half by the town. So really, you might only be paying 1% of a capital project. So a great thing for the town to have.
Yes, I agree. The revenue potential pays for itself with the hangars. As Mr. Markowitz was sharing with us, he was saying that there was a wait list over a year long, and they have to pay a year in advance for the hangar, and so that in and of itself has covered the debt and the operations and the revenue opportunity with the fuel. It is alleviated for us, the town and county, the continued requirement for investment in West.
Well, here we are on April 26th, the grand opening of a new showpiece here at the Luray Caverns Airport, their new $4.5 million terminal opening today. Thank you, Stephanie, for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've come to the close of episode 67 of Page Valley Living here at the Luray Caverns Airport, where today, on April 26, 2025, they're celebrating the opening and open house of their new terminal here at the airport. The $4.5 million project mostly be paying by the state and feds, but it's been a great crowd of almost 100 people showing up here today, and we hope you've enjoyed the interviews and some of the moments that we've taken from that. We want to make sure, if you like this episode, to hit that like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. And as always, share the video with a friend. We'd like to thank Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind the camera and in the editing room this week. And as always, make sure you go down to the Page County Animal Shelter and help all of our furry friends find a forever home. From the Luray Caverns Airport, I'm Randy Arrington saying, enjoy that Page Valley living.